You're in there, Sola. Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 6th. No, May 6th. Wednesday, May 6th. And we are here for, I'm messing with all the equipment to make sure it's all good. We are here this morning for 60 minutes of Bikram yoga, 26 postures, one time each for a total of 60 minutes. I have several people with me. Good morning. Morning, Erin. I assume Carmen's there too. Hi. And then a couple more people are here too. So hi, mystery people. Don't worry about it. I'm excited. Let's get started. I'm going to really try to be disciplined here and get us done right at 9 a.m. Pacific. So it looks like you can see everything in the screen and mic is on. People are here. Let's get started. I am a tight yoga instructor today because I have been working on some strength training. I've been doing some Turkish get-ups, and if you don't know what Turkish get-ups are, they're great. They're awesome. They're like this full body exercise that you do with a kettlebell, and I was just thinking I should do a tutorial, maybe tack it onto the yoga channel because I think it's a really nice complement to yoga. So I've been doing Turkish get-ups and squats and pull-ups with the assistance of a band because I can't do a pull-up by myself yet. Anyway, I've been doing the strength training and it's gotten me pretty tight, and so we'll see how well I'm able to go today. Okay, my fellow yogis, come to the center of your mat and bring your feet together or stand comfortably, no further than hip width apart with your feet. And let's just take a minute and arrive here and really get a sense of where we are in our bodies this morning. As I told you, I know that my body is definitely tight in certain places. So I've got that, I know, but I'm also going to connect with my feet. So look down at your feet, see them rooted into the mat, and spread those toes like you could get your fingers in between each toe as it connects on the mat. And then just rock really subtly back and forth on your heels on your feet from side to side, and also front to back. Maybe make mini circles with your body and just kind of feel the way your weight is distributed in your feet, coming to rest with it mostly in the heels so that your whole body kind of sways back and lands over your heels with those toes nice and spread. Let's inhale here together, shoulders up to the ears. And exhale and just roll those shoulders back. Feel your chest expand and your shoulder blades slide down your back. And let's do it one more time. Inhale, shoulders up and roll them back. And that rolling back of the shoulders and lifting of the chest will help turn your palms forward here. And just make sure, do one more check here, that when you've done that roll and broadened your chest, that it doesn't cause you to stick your belly out and overarch in the lower back. So pull the belly in. Now we're stacked over our heels, shoulders are open. Let's cross the fingers, interlace the fingers here, press the webbing together, the fingers, and tuck them under your chin. Make sure your thumbs, the knuckle of your thumbs connects with your throat. Elbows down to start. Now we'll inhale, nice, long, deep inhale as the elbows begin to rise and come up towards the ceiling. Exhale, gently push the chin back and gaze up towards the ceiling. Now the elbows reach around to one another and try to connect in the front of the room. Inhale, drop the chin, elbows up. Exhale, gently push the chin back, look up at the ceiling. This isn't a back bend, keep your belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Open mouth, exhale, let all that air go. Feel it empty out all the way from the pit of your belly. Inhale. Chin level with the ground here, elbows up towards the ceiling, shoulders relax. Exhale. Open mouth, exhale. Push all the air out. We want to try to inhale and exhale for a count of 6. So inhale. 4, 5, 6, and exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 2 more. Inhale here. Exhale. Last one, make this your deepest yet. Inhale, fill the oxygen to the bottom of your belly. Feel everything expand. Lift out of the waist. Exhale. Push it all out. Change. Drop your hands to your side. Take a breath here. Conscious inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead, and just begin a light warm up for half moon pose. We're going to go side to side a few times here. Hips push out to one side while arms go to the other. And then we're also going to do a little front and back. Bend the knees for your forward fold. Straighten the knees. Push the hips out for your back bend. Just really light movements. Keep everything soft. Just kind of get a feel for where you're at. And we'll meet back, arms overhead, interlace the fingers, steeple grip. So release the index fingers. Really squeeze those biceps next to your ears so that you frame your head with your arms. But here we're going to relax the shoulders down. So even though arms are lifted, lifting out of the waist, lifting the arms, shoulders still slide down away from the ears. Lift those toes just for a minute to make sure the heels feel the weight of your body on them, and then drop the toes back down. Make sure they're spread. We're going to inhale, lift out of the waist. Exhale, begin towards the right side of the room with your upper body, hips push to the left. And back out a bit and take it deeper if you need to, or if you like to just slowly get into that depth of your fold. Everyone approaches this pose differently. Lift that left arm. I'm kind of pulling on my left hand with my right a bit to really lift and feel it in my side body. Hips, shoulders square to the front of the room. Imagine that you're bending this way in between 2 panes of glass. Hips to the left, drop to the right. Bend each knee here just for a moment. Micro bend to kind of feel what the weight is doing. Let's take one more nice deep inhale. Exhale. And change. Inhale all the way up. Neutral position once more. Rise on up out of the waist, but shoulders slide down away from the ears. Shoulder blades slide down the back. One square straight line right now, and then we'll bend towards the left this time. So breathe here, play with your depth, explore this, ask yourself, does it feel good to kind of shoot right into it and stay and hold, or does it feel good to keep it dynamic, come out a bit, go back in? I like to just pedal out my legs a bit by bending one knee at a time, feeling this. Now I'm going to kind of pull my right hand with my left to pull that arm up and over. I really feel that nice stretch in my side body, side of my hip, side of my waist. One more deep, big inhale here. Exhale and change. Inhale up, neutral position. We're headed to a back bend. I'm lifting my toes again, making sure they're spread. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, push the hips towards the front of the room. Inhale and lift. Exhale, push the hips towards the front of the room. If it's comfortable on your neck, you can really let your head get heavy and just fall back and look at the wall behind you. Change. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend the knees, pull the belly in, and begin to fold over your legs here, arms strong and straight. Take it easy and slow. Let your hands rest on the ground, and now just bend the knees. You can even squat and curl for a minute, but keep those knees bent. Glue your belly to your thighs, and let the head and neck go last. Let the head and neck hang comfortably as long as that belly's glued to the thighs, and start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Rest on your hands here in front of you, or take them and wrap them around the back of your legs so the elbows point to the back of the room. Head and neck are heavy. Press your hands into your calves here. Let them slide down your legs. Head and neck hang. Shake your head no. Nod it yes to make sure it's loose. Let those hips come up towards the ceiling. I'm going to, again, kind of try to straighten one knee out at a time to just pedal my legs out. Feel it in my hamstrings and hips. And let's just breathe here. Nice inhale and exhale. Change. Bring your hands back around to frame your head. Frame your face with your arms as you come on up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the arms to the side. Samastitihi. Let's take a nice breath here for a minute. And moving into Utkatasana, awkward pose, also chair pose. We're going to do it in 3 parts. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can kind of get a different view, like we did Monday, about placement. So feet step 6 inches apart, or if you make 2 fists and put those between your feet, you'll be 2 fists apart, feet parallel to one another. Inhale, arms up. Belly is pulled in and strong. Exhale, sit back in the chair. So I bend at a hip crease, push my butt back. I don't want to see my knees past my toes. And then I'm going to be reaching forward with my arms. So that reaching forward balances the pushing back of the hips. And finally, chest is lifted, belly strong. And I have a bit of an arch in my lower back. So I'm actually going to come out just a bit. I'm going to kind of play with my spine here to make sure that my belly is nice and strong, chest lifts. Here we go. Sit back in the chair and change. Come on up now, arms strong this whole time. All the way up on your tiptoes. Arms strong, high on your toes. Belly in, shoulders relax away from the ears. Stay right here and just balance high on your toes. Feel that opening in your ankles. Or if you'd like, begin to sit down again. Bend at the knees and keep the heels high. Bend at the knees, keep the heels high. Sit back in that chair. Shoulders relax. And change. Inhale, use control to come up all the way high on your toes and then drop down to your heels. Let those relax. I'm kind of dancing around the mat this morning. Okay, lift the heels up 1 inch now. Bring knees together and slide straight down. Bending at the knees, sliding straight down. Chest is lifted like you're sliding down the back wall. Squeeze the knees, inner thighs together, arms strong. If you come all the way down close to your heels like I've just done, don't hang out here. You're not really building any strength. Come on up another inch or 2, and that will really turn the legs on. As you can see, that made it more challenging than just hanging out below. Okay, change. Go ahead. Come on up. Lift it up. Let the heels drop. Hands down to the side. Samastitihi. Let's take a breath here. Let it all go. In between these poses in Samastitihi, when I say take a breath, in addition to taking that breath, process kind of what went through your mind in the last pose you had done, and then let it go. We move on to the next pose. Inhale, arms overhead, heading into eagle now. Exhale, right arm under left. Give yourself a hug here. Elbows cross in front. You can leave your hands here in this hug. Rest the hands on the shoulders if you want, or begin to wrap your arms as ropes. Keep your chest lifted as you pull your elbows down towards an invisible line running down the center of your body, and then sit back in your chair. So here it is from the side. Sitting back in the chair, arms are crossed. My knees don't want to be over my toes. And then on an inhale, belly pulls in. Bring that right leg up as high as you can. I like to actually connect it with my elbows before I cross it over the left. So right leg crosses over left, right arm is under left. Sit back in the chair, keep your chest lifted, elbow points down towards your center line, and then come off those right toes and balance on the left leg. Try to wrap those legs tightly around one another, bind them around together. Everything is really pulled into a center line. Knees, hips are square, elbows pull in, shoulders are square. Breathe here. And change. Inhale, come up. Lift the arms overhead. I'm going to turn to the other side now. Exhale, left arm under right. Give yourself that nice hug. Pat on the back if you want. Rest your hands on your shoulders if you want. And keep your arms here if this feels good. Otherwise, continue to wrap. Wrap those arms together like ropes. Really be conscious of pulling elbows down towards your belly while you keep the chest lifted. Sit back in your chair. And then inhale, left knee up. Gonna tap it up to my elbows. Lift it just as high as you can before you wrap it around the right. So cross the left leg over right. You can drop the toes and balance on a kickstand here, or lift the left toes, balancing on the right foot, and just work on wrapping those legs together. If you can sneak your toes behind your calf and doing that while keeping hips square, go for it. If not, come out of that a bit. You want hips to be square and straight under square shoulders. Breathe here. And change. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your side, samastitihi. And you can take a drink because it's party time. So have a drink of water. Checking comments. Great. Okay. Moving into standing head to knee. So we're standing in samastitihi. Really make sure that left foot is firmly planted on the mat. You can lift the right toes and just make sure you're balancing comfortably on the left foot. And when you're ready, inhale, knee up to your waist so that the knee is lined up with the hips. And you can stay right here, balance on your left foot right here with right knee raised, belly strong, shoulders down. If you want to keep moving with me, inhale a bit out of the waist to prepare and give you length to exhale down over that right extended leg. Take a grasp with your hands onto your calf, your ankle, or your foot. Please just don't hang on to the knee. If you want to stay kind of lifted, hang on to the thigh here. Don't pull on the knee, go anywhere else and just find a bind along your leg. And stay right here. I'm going to take a basket weave grip under my foot and then pull the belly in. Inhale up about 2 inches, and if you want to try sliding that foot out in front of you with the basket weave grip of your fingers. We'll see if I have it today. I'm not sure because I am quite tight. Just play here. So both legs are straight. If you've extended out that right leg. Yeah, I am tight today. So we're going to inhale up, come out with control. I'm going to have to walk my feet out here a bit. Just give my legs a break. And then ground down on the right side because we're going to switch. So remember, let it go. Let that last side go. It's a new side, new pose, new beginning with every new pose. Okay, grounding down on the right foot. Inhale, left leg up. I'm going to open it up here just a minute and then close it back up. And breathe right here. Keep it right here, belly strong. Or begin to inhale up a few inches. Exhale and fold. Connect wherever works for you, whether that's along your thigh, your calf, your ankle. If you can, hold on to your foot with your belly in. And you want to try taking a basket weave grip to support the foot. Take that now. Stay here or bring yourself up about 2 inches. And as you're pulling your belly button in, begin to slide the left leg like you're sliding it across the table. Breathe here. Shoulders away from the ears, wherever you are. And change. Come out with control. Let that foot lower. Samasthiti. Ooh, that was a hard one for me today with the tightness I have going. Okay, let's move into dancer. So I'm gonna bring right elbow to right hip, drop the right hand, stand firmly on the left foot as I inhale and bring my right knee up, or I'm sorry, my right foot up, catching in my right hand. And I always just touch in on my belly just to make sure it's strong and pulled in, because in dancer, we can have a tendency to stick the belly out and puff the chest out a little too much, exaggerate that, which creates too much of an arch in the lower back. So I'm going to keep my belly in and strong, even as I lift and kick through the right foot. Left arm lifted along the ear, belly still strong. The lift comes from my leg, not an overarching of the lower back. Breathe here. Hips square to the mat. And change. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the right, left hand. And we're going to move to the other side. Really got to take some breaths here. Okay, left elbow to left hip, drop the left hand, receive that left foot. And again, like I said before, as you're balancing strong on that right leg, I am also going to just check in with my belly that it's pulled in and strong, so that that arching of the back that happens is begun with my leg and not by sticking my belly and my chest out. Inhale, right arm up along the ear and begin. Kick left foot into left hand. Focus on one spot in front of you, on the wall in front of you. Your body will go where your eyes go. And change. Inhale, right arm up. Left arm up, exhale, let it go. I have the wall next to me and I've been using it in dancer there to cheat just a bit, but it does feel really good to have the support on the wall and really feel the full extent of what your legs can do if you have the balance. Okay, so come to the back of your mat for balancing stick, feet together. Inhale, arms up. Steeple grip, so release the index fingers. Step with your left foot forward, just a step, and come up off your right toes really gently. Find the balance on the left leg. And as you begin to lift that back right foot, lower your upper body down. This is going to be a nice hamstring stretch on the left side. Right foot up, arms stretch. Right foot pull back towards the wall, arms pull towards the front, pull yourself apart. Shape of a capital T here with your body. And change. Bring the right foot down, left foot meets the right. Step forward with the right foot now. I'm going to change the steeple grip of my hands. So the opposite one is on top now. Come off your left toes just a bit. Find the balance there first before you begin to lift that left leg. Lower your upper body down. Strong right standing leg. Hamstring stretch in the right leg. Pull your body apart. Left leg shoots back, arms forward. Shape of a capital T. And change. Whew, fell out of that one. Okay, left foot plants, right meets the left. Relax the shoulders. So right here, take a drink of water, but also do a shoulder roll with me. Go one direction and then the next. In that balancing stick, I really have a tendency to squeeze my shoulders up by my ears. You want to relax them down after that one. Give them a nice roll. Okay, so for separate leg stretching here, this is going to be a really good stretch on the hamstrings as long as you keep your knees bent as much as you need to have a straight spine. That's a way to really engage and stretch the hamstrings. So let's inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, step the feet apart, about a leg length apart, arms to a T. And now just bend the knees, one and then the other, and rock back and forth just a bit, just to kind of warm up at the hips before we head into this. Okay, so with a micro bend in the knees now, soften the knees, and then swan dive forward, lead with the chest, shoot the booty back, and here's where you want to bend the knees as much as you need to keep a straight spine. So I'm going to just show it from the side too. So I micro bend, soften the knees here, you can see, and then stick the booty back, begin to fold there, chest down. And I'm going to bend the knees even more to keep my back straight as I lower down even more to relax the hands down to the mat. So squeeze the belly button in, bend at the knees, and the head and the neck are last to go. And here you can rock out back and forth too, with one leg straightening and then the other. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And when you're ready, with knees still bent so that your belly can kind of rest between your open thighs here, find your bind either along the side of your leg or all the way down to the outside of your foot. And with knees bent, lift the hips high, crown of your head towards the ground. And breathe here wherever you are. If you need to play with bent knees to experience the different ways that affects the stretch, go for it. Hips high, belly, belly in. And change. Inhale with control, come up halfway. And then if you want to turn on the core, bring those arms along with you to rise on up. Feet and arms come together at the top of the mat. Exhale, arms down. Okay, hope that felt good on the hamstrings. We're moving in triangle now. Trikonasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step it out again. In that same position you were in for the last fold, and just turn the right toes out towards the side of the room. Left toes still face the front. The left foot's parallel to the mat. And then bring yourself down by bending the right knee so that it's over the right ankle. Breathe and stay right here in this triangle. Otherwise, turn your hands, tick-tock to 6 and 12. Stay here with your upper body square over your hips. Or if you want to begin lowering and softening on the outside here, the left side, soften and lower down here as you bring your right hand along the right knee, coax it open. And then finally, with palms both facing forward, if you want to take the full expression, add a twist in the upper body by turning to look at that lifted left thumb. Lifted left instead of lefted lift. Breathe here. Imagine you're squeezing a beach ball between your thighs here. And change. Inhale, arms up, toes turn towards the front, and then rotate the left toes out this time. Find your leg positioning here. I'm going to kind of bend the knee a few times and straighten it again. This left side feels a little tighter. So I'm going to work myself into it with some adjustments. Stay right here or tick-tock the arms at 6 and 12. Each of these phases you can stay in. And your leg, the depth between your legs, the length between them may not look as deep as mine. Your bend may not be as deep. It's going to look different on everyone. Okay, 6 and 12 here. If you want to keep going with me, we're going to soften along the right side as we sink down. The left palm, the left wrist coax the left knee open. I can't speak today, which is not good if I'm live streaming on YouTube. Okay, and then finally a twist in the upper body by looking at the lifted right thumb. Oh, I'm going to roll my neck out a few times. Breathe here, squeeze that ball between your inner thighs and change. Inhale, come up to this T position, and then if you can in one movement, bring everything up to the front of the mat, arms overhead. Exhale, arms to your side, Samastitihi. Time check for me. I think I'm doing a little better with timing today. I was very chatty on Monday. Okay, here's a really good hamstring stretch. Separate leg, standing head to knee. Inhale, arms overhead and take prayer grip. So hands in prayer with one thumb crossed over the other. Step the feet apart here, only about maybe 3 feet apart, not as wide as they were in the last two poses. And then just lift your toes and rotate on your heels, rotate everything over to the side of the room. So this is going to be a hamstring stretch in the front right hamstring. Bend that right knee just a bit. Turn this back left glute on and just swan dive over that front right leg. And I already began to feel it in my hamstring here, keeping hips square to the mat. And lower down. You can leave your prayer grip for balance and arm strength, or you can separate your hands and let them come down to the mat. Bend the knee as much as you need to lower yourself down and meet that leg. And when your belly is resting on the knee here, then you can kind of begin to straighten it and just play with straightening the leg and bending to feel what's happening along this right hamstring. Final expression, if you want to take the head to knee, is to tuck the chin along the chest, bend the knee to let it meet your forehead. I'm going to go there now. Pull the belly in. I just saw my belly sticking out, which was a reminder, pull it in. Change, inhale, arms up overhead. Turn up on your toes so that you can rotate those heels around to the other side. Now we're headed into a hamstring stretch on the left. So micro bend the front knee, turn on the back glute. Remember, pull that belly in as you swan dive over the left leg. Keep your hips square. That's going to help the hamstring stretch. Don't let your hips open. And remember to bend this left knee as much as you need to rest your belly on it. I've let my hands separate to frame my foot. And I'm just going to straighten and bend. This leg is tighter. This side is tighter than the other. Final expression, if you want to take it, tuck the chin to the chest and bend the knee enough to meet it to your forehead. Pull the belly in. And change. Inhale, come up. Exhale, try to step everything together at the top of the mat, arms down. Beautiful. Let's move into tree before we hit the floor. So coming into tree, letting go of everything that came before. Let's firmly plant down into the left foot. Windshield wiper, open the right hip, and then find your tree here. You can stay balanced on the toes or begin to lift. Every day is going to be different. Don't try to force what you've gotten before. Just ask yourself where you are today. So please just don't push your foot into your knee, but anywhere else along your leg that the inside sole of your right foot wants to be. Find that spot and bring hands either to heart center, or you can grow some branches. Bring them up overhead. You can sway if you want to turn into a willow. Whatever you're feeling this morning, breathe here. Let's take one quiet breath together. And change. Let's let that go. Bring the right leg down. We'll move over and plant now on the right foot. Open up at the left. Windshield wiper the hips open. And again, you can stay right here on your toes or begin to lift. Ask yourself where you want to be today. It might not look the same as it did on the other side, and it might not look the same that it did the day before. Find your spot. Play with your branches if you want. Otherwise, just find stillness right here with hands at heart center, or grow, grow, grow. And then again, we'll take one quiet breath. Great, and change. Let's let that go. That was a wonderful standing practice. We're gonna move to the floor now, so just bow down to that standing practice and then lie down on your back for Shavasana. So here we are in Shavasana. You know, I like to talk about this being another check-in the same way that we began in standing in Tadasana with awareness, which when I use the word samastitihi roughly translates to that kind of concentrated awareness in standing. We want to have that in Shavasana here as well. So just feel the mat underneath you. Feel your belly and your chest rise and fall as you breathe. I'm rocking on my hips just a minute here to kind of make sure I feel like they're both connecting as evenly as possible on the mat. And we're moving into wind removing pose. So inhale, right knee up towards your chest. Find that right shin with your hands here and pull in and down towards your armpit with your right knee. Feel a pinching in the hip crease of your right side. Engage the leg on your left side like it's standing. Pull in and change. Let the right leg go. Lift the left knee up and pull it in now. Find your shin with your hands. Pull in on that left knee and then down towards your armpit. Feel a pinching in that left hip crease. Turn on the right leg like it's standing. And change. Let the left leg go and inhale both knees up this time. You can rock just a bit if you want. Massage out your lower back to get started. And then just lift your chin up and tuck it towards your chest to create length in the neck, but then lower the head back down. Length along the spine and the neck. Press your hips down to the floor. Pull in on the shins. Pull knees to chest. And change. Gently lower those legs down. Breathe here for Shavasana. If your back is bothering you, turn around and do a push-up. Otherwise, we're gonna inhale, arms overhead for a yoga sit-up. Exhale, sit up. Oh, pull the belly in as you touch your toes, giving yourself a little hamstring stretch, and then turn around on your bellies for cobra. So hands under shoulders for cobra. Zip up your cobra tail. All one long line with your leg is your cobra tail. Rest your nose or forehead or chin down on the mat and just pull those elbows in together behind you along your ribs. As you inhale, upper body slowly peels off the mat. You don't need to gaze all the way to the ceiling here. I see that sometimes in cobra and it's overstraining your neck. Just gaze straight ahead and let the lift from your lower back bring your gaze up rather than forcing it with your eyes and your neck. Breathe here, lift a little higher, lower back strength completely here. And change, lower down, belly down Shavasana, left cheek to the mat. Flip the palms so that they are facing up towards the ceiling. Let the heels splay open. Breathe here, feel the mat under your belly. And for half locust, you're gonna flip the palms now so that they're down on the mat. We're gonna rock the hips back and forth to slide those underturned palms like they're bumping a volleyball under your hips. Hip bones are pressing and connecting down with the wrist. Inhale, right leg up. Turn on that right leg and lift it up and out. Leave the left leg relaxed. Chin stays glued to the mat this entire time to protect the neck. Right leg lift a little higher. Change, let the right leg fall. Let it relax completely as you inhale, left leg up. Chin is still on the mat, left leg lifts high, let it pull out and long, and then lift high once more. Change, let that rest. Now you're gonna scoot your hands down, your legs as much as possible towards the knees, and that gives you a lift off your forearms as you press palms into the mat. Turn your mouth down to the mat, kiss the mat here, and lift both legs. Breathe here, lift, 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 change. Let those legs fall, roll your arms out, give them a break, and turn right cheek to the mat, belly down Shavasana, let heels splay open. Breathe here. Nice, deep breath, let that go. Half locust is a lot of work. Okay, we're moving into full locust now. So that's gonna use both upper and lower body, and we've warmed up for this. You're totally prepared for this. So zip up your cobra tail that we used before, arms out like airplane wings straight out from your shoulders, chin on the mat. And then inhale, peel the upper body off the mat. Peel the hips up off the mat. Legs are engaged and strong. Legs are lifting, chest is lifted, gaze is lifted straight in front of you, arms out, just fly here. Fly, lift, lift, lift. Change, let it go. Left cheek to the mat, palms up, toes can come together while heels splay open. If you need to, if it feels good, you can kind of windshield wiper the legs by bending at the knees. Let the legs rock back and forth. Relax the hips a bit. And now for the fullest expression of everything we just worked towards, floor bow. Bend to the knees, bring the heels to the butt, and then as you lift the chest, reach back and find a connection, hands to feet. If you don't have that connection yet, just stay right here with knees bent and chest lifted. Find that connection. Soften your neck for a minute, just let it shake out. Keep your knees together to begin, although they will separate a bit as we kick back into the hands, lift the chest for floor bow. So kick and lift, and if you want to find a bit of a rock and roll here on your belly, eventually you can land on your upper belly. That helps you lift the hips even higher off the mat. Relax the shoulders away from the neck, maybe shake out your head. Kick, 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 and lift, lift, lift. Shape of a teardrop coming from the ceiling. Change, let it go. Right cheek on the mat, belly down Shavasana. Breathe here. Nice deep, deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Okay, now for our nice push-up. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Keep the elbows pulled in. Flip the toes. Stay on your knees if you know you need to. Otherwise, push yourself straight up. That is hard to talk through. Into plank position. Hold plank for just a second if you want. I'm kind of pedaling out my legs here in plank and coming back and forth on my toes a bit. Feels good. And then walk the knees up to the front of the mat for fixed fern. So for fixed fern, my knees together, my feet will open up just wide enough so that when I sink my hips back, they can connect with the mat or a block. If you have a block or a pillow or a folded blanket, something to connect your hips with when you sink back between your feet. So go ahead now, pull the belly in, let yourself sit back and find a comfortable resting position here. If you are connected with the ground and this feels comfortable, you can let the knees open just, maybe an inch or two, and then begin to push with your hands pushing back on your heels. Come back onto either elbows, stay right here, belly pulled in, or push again, hands to heels and fall all the way back so that your back shoulder blades are resting on the floor. Final expression, arms overhead, hands clasp onto opposite elbows. So there are so many different phases working through this posture. And wherever you are, engage the belly to come on out. If you're on the floor, make sure that belly is nice and strong as you push back up on your elbows, hands into heels to lift yourself off your knees, and then turn around and lie down for Shavasana on your back. Heels can be together now as toes splay open, shoulder blades, hips connected with the mat, palms turned up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sit up. Yoga, sit up. Touch the toes. Turn around and come back to the back of the mat. And we're headed into half tortoise. So inhale, arms overhead. Prayer hands here, cross one thumb in front of the other. Arms strong, framing the ears. And belly, with belly pulled in and strong, lower down over your legs. Try to get your forehead and nose to the mat before the blades of your pinkies. The slower you go, the more core strength you use and the more stretch you get in that lower spine. When the blades of your pinkies find the mat, press them into the mat. That'll lift the forearms off the mat and it will open you up at the armpits. So blades of the pinkies press in, feel heavy in your hips. Hips sink back towards the heels. Breathe here. Nice inhale, exhale. And change. With arms strong and core strength, lift yourself back up. And exhale, arms down, turn around and lie back on your back for Shavasana. Breathe here. Normally in Shavasana, we close the eyes. When we do our last final Shavasana, close the eyes. Keep the eyes open during these little mini Shavasanas so that you don't get too far gone. And inhale, arms overhead for that yoga sit up. Exhale, 2 audible exhales, sit up. And shift forward. When you do that sit up and you shift forward to touch your toes, bend the knees slightly and make sure those hips shoot back. And that gives you that little nice hamstring stretch after the sit up. So come around to the front of the mat now for camel. If you have a block, place it between your inner thighs. If you want to work on some inner thigh engagement, strengthening, and knee stability. My blocks are not with me this morning, which is fine. So I'm just gonna turn on that inner thigh and imagine I have a block there. Squeeze the block in your inner thigh. Bring your hands to your back pockets of your yoga pants and elbows come together behind you like there's a string pulling your elbows together behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. Gaze up. Exhale, push the hips towards the front of the room. Hips over knees the whole time as your chest lifts towards the ceiling. Press with your hands onto the top of your hips there in your imaginary back pockets. Inner thighs engaged, lift the chest. Let the head and neck go if you'd like. Final expression is to reach back and find your heels with your hands. Breathe here. And change. Core engaged, come on out over your knees. You can sit back for a minute on your heels just to keep yourself from getting lightheaded before you turn around and lie down on your back for Shavasana. Okay, once more in Shavasana. Heels face one another while your toes splay open, hands open towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sit up, micro bend in the knee, come touch the toes, and then come around to the back of the mat once more. It's our last time for rabbit. So in rabbit here, you're going to connect hands with your heels or the outside of your feet. And we're going to begin this fold. This is a complete rounding of the spine that starts at the upper spine. So you begin with with the chin tucked towards the chest. I'm rounding at the neck, chin towards the chest, pull the belly in, pull the belly in, pull the belly in. As you lower down, forehead might graze along your knees, crown of your head meets the floor, and then with hands holding onto heels, lift the hips towards the ceiling, belly pulled in. Not a lot of weight on the crown of your head, you're just barely connecting the crown of the head. Pull the belly in, lift the hips high. Change. Let go of that grip with your hands and then come on out of the fold the same way you came in, which means your chin is the last to come up. Turn around for Shavasana. Breathe here. Chest rises and falls. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sit up. Come around and touch the toes and turn towards the front of the room. Right leg spread out, left leg in for separate leg stretching. This is, I'm tight here. Okay, so engage those toes, bend at the knee just a little. Inhale, find length in the upper body, and on an exhale, twist and fold down, chest leads towards your knee. Keep your head and neck lifted until you connect upper body to your thigh here with your knee bent as much as you need to. And you can keep that head and neck lifted, or if you want, you can relax it down. I'm gonna have to play around here. My inner thighs are sore from squats and my hip flexors are sore. And change. Inhale, bring it up. And switch out the legs. So left leg is out now. I think of, in the stretch, I think of putting my heel and having it meet the corner of the mat on that outstretched leg, while the other leg is in, and then I'm going to have to do some adjusting and rotating here to make sure I'm really under my sit bones and move the tissue out from my booty, connect with both sit bones on the ground here. And then I'm going to inhale, arms up, exhale, twist and fold. I'm going to really need to bend the knee here of my left leg as I let my chest fold over that leg. And I always just start these folds with super bent knees because you can always straighten your knees as you go, as you need to. But beginning them with bent knees really protects the lower back and helps you fold the way you're meant to, with leading with the chest and hinging at the hips. Oh man, awesome hamstring stretch on the left side. I needed that. Okay, inhale, arms up. I think I keep having us hold the left side a little longer just because that's my tighter side. Okay, rotate or make the adjustments and move the tissue out from under you with legs straight here, for legs together out in front of you. So if you want to stay right here and just sit up strong on your sit bones with the legs out in front of you and toes engaged by bringing them back towards your head, this is a really nice hamstring stretch, and we don't sit like this enough. So you can stay right here. If you want to take it into a fold, we inhale out of the waist, as you know, and lift, and then micro bend the knees, lead with the chest, and you can connect your belly to your thighs just like we did when we were in a standing forward fold. Belly connects with the thighs, knees bent, and then head and neck go last. And with those knees bent, like I just said in the last stretch, you can start to straighten them as you're ready. I even like to kind of straighten one at a time here, kind of walk them out. And change. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down, and we'll move into final spinal. Gosh, I'm flying through this one. Just wanting to kind of challenge myself to get done in the right time I'm supposed to get done, to make sure I don't totally lose my timing. Okay, so for final spinal, we have right leg crossed over left. You can leave left leg straight or let it bend so that the knees are stacked one over the other. Moving out the tissue so that I'm on my sit bones here. Lift at the arms as an inhale and lift out of the chest. Exhale and twist. Lead this twist with the belly button. Keep the neck relaxed by shaking it and nodding it out. And you can really just kind of gradually and gently look behind you and see what you can see over that right shoulder. And we're going to come out of that twist. Recross the legs, this time with left leg on top. Keep the bottom leg straight or bend the bottom legs so that knees are stacked one over the other. So here, I'm just going to kind of connect my left foot down onto the mat, and you can choose to leave it here with left foot pressing down in the mat. It's going to feel good for me today to go ahead and take it onto its side. So we inhale, find some length. Exhale, remember to lead the twist with the belly button. Relax the neck by nodding and shaking it out, and just see what you can see, gently gazing over your left shoulder. And change, slowly come out of that. Straighten out the legs and give them a little shake out. That feels good. And then we're gonna come into a comfortable seated position for breath of fire. So sit your hips back on your heels. Find a comfortable position to rest your hands, whether that's on your legs or you want to take any kind of hand gesture, something that just really lets your shoulders relax here. And remember to just check in and make sure that on your exhale, your audible exhale, your belly snaps in. So practice that a few times. Like you're blowing out a birthday cake, your belly is snapping in to push that air out. So let's inhale here together one time. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale halfway and begin. Five, four, three, two, one, let it go. Okay, that concludes a no-nonsense Bikram practice for 60 minutes. I would like to encourage you here to take a 2-minute Shavasana with me. We're ending right at 9 o'clock right now, but I want to take Shavasana for 2 minutes just to kind of bookend that practice and try to integrate everything I just did physically and mentally and psychologically and emotionally with my experience. Just very important practice. Oh, sorry, taking a few neck stretches here too. That integration is just great practice. Something to be aware of for the rest of the day. The way that we have the ability and we have control to be able to stop and just take 2 minutes of stillness and let everything that we're processing that we may not even consciously realize we're processing come together in stillness and with consciousness. So let's do that now, 2 minutes here, and I will bring you out when it's time. So go ahead and lie down on your back. You've got nothing to worry about. Know where you've got to be. You are completely held and safe here, so just take it. Thank yourself for showing up on your mat. Feel your body sink down into the mat. Take a minute if you want to just kind of wiggle or engage your toes or your thighs. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your hands and fists. Anything you want to do to kind of engage all these little parts of your body and then let them go. Let them completely relax. So that you can take this corpse pose. Close your eyes, just let yourself become really heavy. You may have things going on around you, smells and sounds, and just be aware of them, but try to watch them as an outsider. Without letting them trigger any things you feel like you need to do or ways you need to be right now. And believe it or not, it's already just been a quick 2 minutes. So once again, if you need to wiggle the toes or wiggle the fingers, blink open the eyes, just kind of bring yourself back to that current reality where there may be things going on around you that you need to begin to engage in. Go ahead and take whatever movements you need to bring yourself up to that comfortable seated position to end the practice with me. I have a wet dog looking at me from outside saying, I'd like to come in now. And I'll let her in. But first, I just want to say thank you for joining me. 6th of May, still the beginning, I think, of a new month, and a great time to make an intention for yourself that you will continue this practice. You just show up and do it one day at a time, and by the time the month is over, you'll have made incredible gains. And I'm really feeling committed to that myself. Our shelter in place has gone on much longer than we ever thought it would when we started it, March 12th, I think it was. So I'm really trying to, take it one day at a time and do it mindfully, because April was a complete blur, and I know it was for so many people. And it's really great to know that we're here doing this together. So I share that with you. I know that everyone is on their own journey, and I hope to see you again. I hope to see you Friday morning for Vinyasa yoga. That's going to be 8 a.m. Vinyasa for 60 minutes. And then we'll also do a Friday happy hour using a drink that Carmen, my cousin, sent me that looks delicious, and it has to do with pineapple and coconut milk and rum. So I'll post more about it on social media so you can get the details. Okay, but until Friday, I am making a commitment not to drink any alcohol. So Friday happy hour will be the first time that I have a cocktail. I'm looking forward to that, and also just the fact that I want to do it with intention. So if you want to take on that challenge with me too, let's do it together. Have a great rest of your week. Happy Hump Day. Thank you for joining me. And I just want to say namaste. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you, yogis. Namaste. I'll see you Friday.